Here we go, YouTube. Another night of the weirdness, man, with a perfect halo around the sun with the creature at the very top. Straight lining clouds were out crazy today, man. And we're in, right now, it's 6 o'clock in the evening, and we are under tornado watch. Yep, here in Conneaut, Ohio, Ashtabula County. Severe thunderstorms and tornado watches as the demons are going to pound us from the clouds. See them? I mean, I don't know how many you guys can pick out tonight, but there's quite a few tonight, man. There's a lot, man. The clouds were looking freaking weird, like big time, man. Hey, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe, man. Help me out here because, you know, it's not easy work. I'm going to keep saying it's very hard to do, especially when you're taking pictures of demons and stuff and ugly monsters with teeth and shit, you know. It gets to you, you know. So it's a lot of work, a lot of work, man. So view these. I want you to view these videos like scientists, man. Okay, like, I mean, we're gonna need this type of evidence anyway for this atmospheric changes we're all going through, right? I guess, right? So this is good science information anyway. Did you just see that lightning? Did you see that? Wow. That was pretty crazy. I think that's what that was. I don't know. My camera freaked out for a minute. It freaked out. See what happens here. I don't know. Oh, I'm going to put these cameras up on the roof now. Using just 2 cell phone cameras of Samsung's. Look at the colors. Wow. Man, woo. Yeah. Anyway, everybody do a dab. Everybody pick up your dabber or your bowl and let's do a puff. Ready? We need it. There we go. Salute. A moment of silence. Anyway, shit's getting really looking weird, man. I'll tell you what, if you just, I don't know, look at these things, man, you can see different characters and different monsters and demons and ghouls or whatever the heck you want to call them. Faces, triangles, perfect squares. I mean, right angles and straight lines and geez. It's like, now this is, I've been doing this every day that there's clouds out. I'm going to do this again. I mean, I quit doing it for a while because I thought, I'm not going to invite these things in if they are demons, whatever they are. If they're demons, I'm not going to invite them in, so I quit taking pictures of them. But then I realized, hey, I'm protected by Jesus Christ and the full armor from God. So you know what? I'm going out demon hunting some more. And here we are. So, yep, I feel like it's my due diligence to do this. And, you know, as a matter of fact, there was something that I really wanted you guys to hear, and it's very important. It was something I got off a Joe Rogan show. And let me see if I can't find it. So hang tight with me. Hang tight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need you to listen to this in its entirety. This information I picked off of Joe Rogan, and he turned me on to this stuff. And I've been following this particular scientist for quite some years because of his adventure, time he'd spent in Antarctica. You know, so this guy come out working at Antarctica as a fireman and a plumber. Well, you'll have to listen to yourself, but listen to this whole thing in its entirety because it's about
out there, and
it's about this voice to skull technology I've been telling you about, the microwave auditorial hearing. Now, this is the second guy that's mentioned this stuff. That's you know, I got to take his word for it because he looks very intelligent and his PhDs speak it all. So I mean, whatever, a lot of knowledge. But anyway, here we go. Ready?
Saying there's direct energy weapons.
You know about, so, you have a lot of physicists on the show, so I follow a lot of that. And so I already knew about the Ice Cube neutrino detector just from following science channels.
Because without any of this,
let's listen to what he says, because it sounds so kooky. Listening to the guy talk.
There's a TikTok video. Well, this is still 4 minutes long.
Okay, but just give us a little something.
I'm going to speed it forward to get to the good part.
From 2010 to 2011, you were a tradesman and fire trained to be a remote viewer.
Correct, through a program called
Stargate project, a submarine service in the Navy, plumber for the wealthy elite on Long Island prior to Raytheon, and experience
Raytheon.
with UFOs.
It's another one of the CERN
You're a
places.
whistleblower for the benefit of humanity. Why are you blowing the whistle now?
I'm
What are you
blowing
hoping
the
to
whistle
accomplish?
because I'm obliged to.
That's how I feel. I'm
I
obliged
don't know
to do
anybody
this.
that's walked a similar path to me in life, so it's necessary information that gets out there. I wish that I could be relieved of the task, but until I can find someone that can properly handle this information, I have to be on point for it.
Roger that. Well, just like everybody else, we always start off with a gift.
Thank you, sir.
If you don't guess this,
Go.
what's in there? Pull them out.
You got it. We have genuine Vigilance Elite gummies.
Nice.
Legal in all 50 states.
They are. They're illegal in all 50 states, believe it or not.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I think they're still legal in all 50 states. I don't know.
Laws change very fast nowadays.
Tyranny might start coming after candy next. Who knows?
He's right.
But today, we're here to talk about Raytheon Technologies Corporation.
Raytheon Technologies.
is an aerospace company that provides advanced systems and services for commercial, military, and government customers worldwide. Probed for corruption in government contracting since 1980s. You were in the South Pole from 2010 to 2011. Let's talk about what you were doing down there.
You got it.
What were you doing down there?
I was contracted for the summer season as a plumber. I did well enough in my summer season to garner a winter contract as well, which got me my full year's stay. I was also tasked with being a firefighter. I was a lead on the firefighting team, and because of that dual role capacity, I physically held a key that opened every single door in the facility. I had complete access to every compartment they manufactured. That was a rare position to be in.
What are you blowing the whistle on?
That there are technologies at the South Pole Station that people can't even consider that exist on this planet.
Like what?
Directed energy weapon systems is something that people need to get in their vocabulary
Directed
fast.
energy system.
The IceCube neutrino detector is not simply a passive listening device as presented for the science that they're claiming it to do. It also has the capacity to transmit. There are embedded in the ice what are called digital optical modules, DOMs. They're about the size of a basketball. The array embedded in the ice is 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. It is the world's largest
That's the biggest.
telescope.
That's as big as my
And
town.
now, because we have proven that it can transmit, it's the world's largest directed energy weapon system. It is responsible for the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand in 2011 on the front end
In
of
the
the year.
North Pole.
How do you know
From
for
the
a
South
fact that I
Pole.
was responsible for that?
Because I was
Look at that
present,
demon
and
god
I have
looking
gone
straight
over this
down.
with the
Oy.
pertinent people, but I will not be releasing their names.
Okay.
But I was on the team, let's just say, and I've confirmed this.
Well,
I've provided documentation from the actual manufacturer's specs. So this unit was constructed, operated, and maintained by the University of Wisconsin, and just like every other device on the planet, whether you're driving an M1 Abrams tank or operating the IceCube neutrino detector, there's operator's manuals that tell you how things work. Right there in that information, free for everybody to find. I found it myself. I was directed to find it, I'll put it that way, and release this information. And it states very clearly that each one of these DOMs can transmit at 2,047 volts each. So these are currently the facts of life.
2,047
how
volts
do you know?
each.
I mean, how do you? I guess what I'm asking is, how did it even come to your attention that this triggered an earthquake? If you're at the South Pole and New Zealand had an earthquake, I mean, how did you know it came from the South Pole?
Without divulging names,
Without divulging names.
I can only say that it was communicated to me from team members that were present and fully read in at the time that they were aware. And since that time,
At the immediate, like the same day?
oh, absolutely, it was understood
Well, what was said?
that we accidentally hit Christchurch, New Zealand twice when they were trying to fire up this weapon for the first time. That it was friendly fire. It was not on purpose, but it occurred. That the system is designed for that, and it was just friendly fire.
So this is a telescope. That sounds like a Is it a telescope?
Absolutely, it is. It is a neutrino detector for sure. It can accomplish its primary purpose. It can also transmit and then provide a multifaceted platform for directed energy weapons systems.
Do you have any
Hear
idea how
that?
the earthquake was initiated?
From misfiring the system. Where were they targeting?
Yes.
I don't know.
Does it go into the earth? Does it go into the atmosphere?
It can definitely go through the earth. I would consider that it might be able to do stuff in the atmosphere. I haven't heard that statement laid at its feet, but I wouldn't put it past it. I don't want to try to limit the functions of this device by my imagination or experience. I believe that's one of the problems with directed energy weapons is they are not like standard weapons of old where you have a gun and there's a particular caliber bullet, you pull the trigger and it does one thing. These platforms are way more complex than that.
Look at
They
them
do a lot
things
of
in the
things.
sky. Look at them.
What else do they do?
Excuse me. This system, additionally, in regards to the neutrinos, it detects the neutrinos that are apparently coming off of the new exotic propulsion systems for either off-world UFOs or reverse-engineered stuff on our planet.
What is neutrino?
Neutrino is a near massless particle that goes at, close, or beyond the speed of light. It is so small that it can pass between the electron shell and the nucleus of pretty much every atom on the planet. In the capacity of being detected at the South Pole Station, when the neutrino impacts the nucleus of the water molecule of the ice in the glaciers at the pole, a reaction occurs. The nucleus and the neutrino become destroyed. A muon is created and ejected, and a blue flash of light known as Cherenkov radiation.
Cherenkov radiation.
And that's what the DOMs, the digital optical modules, are detecting. That's their primary purpose as presented. Now, whether that neutrino comes from a quasar out in space or a exotic propelled engine off of vehicles that aren't being discussed contemporarily, it detects it. Thus making it basically an air traffic control center for all non-discussed vehicles on this planet. So just like we have all the other air traffic on the planet and it's being completely observed and attended to, there's just another level of craft on this planet and another level of air traffic control tower that exists. This is that facility.
Back to
Antarctica.
tracking neutrinos. What is that? Why are they tracking those?
Oh, for the purposes of science, they're claiming that there's a lot to be ascertained by understanding the difference between low power and high power neutrino ejections from cosmic occurrences. It's about that vague. This is what they spend our tax dollars on.
Very vague.
Let's talk about what else do they do?
The device is also for faster than light communications, quantum entangled communications.
Faster than
at
light
great distance.
communications.
In, I guess it was the late 80s or early 90s, Gary McKinnon hacked NASA.
He was important.
And
Gary
he
McKinnon.
found he found the list of the off-world space fleet and the captains of the ships
I
respectively.
believe this.
We have a fleet out there. If we have a fleet out there, we need to communicate with them. This is that facility.
Can you explain quantum entanglement communications?
Yes, I don't think most people understand what I'm about to say.
Quantum
anyway.
entanglement.
But I will.
Listen to
The
this
way quantum
carefully.
entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously, in no time, switch its rotation also because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that we need to communicate with them. This is that facility.
Can you explain quantum entanglement communications?
Yes, I don't think most people understand what I'm about to say anyway.
Look
but
at
I
the
will.
demon at the top.
The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles,
Looks like
quantum
Groot.
entangle them, and
Groot.
then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously, in
Instantly.
no time, switch its rotation also because they're
Quantum entangled.
So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around.
Communication systems. Hear what he said.
And this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
I've heard about this. I've tried to dig into it, and it's hard to understand.
It is hard to understand. It would be my best way to put it is that when electricity first came out, it was very hard for a lot of people to understand what Nikola Tesla was getting at. But everyone was using it before they even understood it. And this is just where we are right now. It's just a new technology. It's a new conversation. People don't have to understand it yet. They just have to realize it's real.
What other kind of things can this...
This is scary, right here.
Oh boy.
That I'm talking about.
Voice-to-skull technology. This is also in the foray of directed...
I've heard about this. I've tried to dig into it, and it's hard to understand.
It is hard to understand. It would be my best way to put it is that when electricity first came out, it was very hard for a lot of people to understand what Nikola Tesla was getting at. But everyone was using it before they even understood it. And this is just where we are right now. It's just a new technology. It's a new conversation. People don't have to understand it yet. They just have to realize it's real.
Yes, realize this is real, because it is.
What other kind of things can this...
Oh boy. Voice-to-skull technology. This is also in the foray of directed energy weapons.
What is that?
The ability to, let's just say, throw your voice into your head or my voice into my head, or allowing algorithms that now they can blanket a whole geographical area and they can make everybody change their thoughts. They can, I use the term intrusive thoughts. Back to that fork in the road analogy. If you find yourself where you have to make a decision about something, next thing you know, you catch yourself kind of having an argument in your head with your own voices. Well, the ability to add it, to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
I've heard about this. I've tried to dig into it, and it's hard to understand.
It is hard to understand. It would be my best way to put it is that when electricity first came out, it was very hard for a lot of people to understand what Nikola Tesla was getting at. But everyone was using it before they even understood it. And this is just where we are right now. It's just a new technology. It's a new conversation. People don't have to understand it yet. They just have to realize it's real.
What other kind of things can this...
Oh boy. Voice-to-skull technology. This is also in the foray of directed energy weapons.
What is that?
The ability to, let's just say, throw your voice into your head or my voice into my head, or allowing algorithms that now they can blanket a whole geographical area and they can make everybody change their thoughts. They can, I use the term intrusive thoughts. Back to that fork in the road analogy.
Cell phone towers.
You have to make a decision about something. Next thing you know, you catch yourself kind of having an argument in your head with your own voices. Well, the ability to add another one of your voices in there, but have it controlled by somebody else's microphone, so to say, is a very powerful tool.
You hear that?
And I think this is a weapon of war that we are seeing happen.
We are at war.
The Department of Defense recently started initiating protocols for their employees, their agents, to discuss Havana syndrome-like symptoms. And on that list is that their agents are hearing voices in their head. And this is what they're getting at. This is that technology.
That's right. I got a lot of friends with these symptoms.
You're trying to make a decision, but there's another Sean in your head that now is actually somebody else's control. And through the manipulation of that voice, they can now push you. Just like we have, the cell phones are weaponized now, the social media platforms, and they can engage with an algorithm, and they know that they can push you in a direction by repetitive information being displayed in front of you, similar to the Takistoscope in grammar school, that they can learn your system, and they can learn to manipulate it on a personalized level by just assessing you, what the things are that you're interested in, what are your weak points, what's the crack in the dam, what's the angle of attack, and it's through repetition and access. These are simply electromagnetic impulses in your head. It's not that they can't be read. It's not that they can't be copied.
Electromagnetic pulses.
They can't be just replayed with somebody else's control. I mean, I could get a voice-changing thing, and I could sound like you if I wanted to. I could call you on the phone. I could call your loved ones, and I could pretend I'm Sean. They can do that for you in your own head.
You hear that?
How are you finding all of this out?
Years of research. The McDonald's Corporation just had a
McDonald's
ad come out
Corporation.
a few months ago. That they're
Raytheon.
looking into research and development and a technology
Those are
that will
symbols.
afford them the
Look at
ability
that,
to pump the
symbols.
commercials into your brain while you're
Anyway, what happened here? Come on, dude. Shit. We lost internet. Anyway, the voice-to-skull technology is a fact. It's real. The stuff, I've got friends with these symptoms, man. And in between these cell phone towers, they're part of it. Okay? So they have this voice-to-skull technology energy weapons, and they're using it on us right now, man. Because I'll tell you, you can't, other than that, you're going to have to tell me that God and the devil are at a war right now, and the spiritual thing is for real. Okay? Well, whatever. The devil or whatever these things are, they're using that technology on us. Voice-to-skull technology. It's been around since the fucking 40s. They discovered it when they were figuring out radar, man, because two privates got burned by radar on the ship on the ship. Whatever. It's 1944. That's all fact. It's they've been messing with this technology for umpteen years. This blue beam and the blue books and all these government things are all real, man. The black projects. There's no doubt in my mind that this bullshit's all real. And we got to stop lying to ourselves. We got to stop fighting with each other. And, you know, if you disagree, you disagree. But, you know, I mean, we got to come into these discussions with open minds, man. That's all there is to it. Because if not, we're going to lose our souls, man, to whatever CERN did, whatever they're doing down in Antarctica, you know, whatever they're doing down there. Look, this is a sun halo. I took this picture this after freaking noon. Okay, so I blew up the demon in it so you could see it, okay? All right? I know this picture is going to come back down to normal, and you're going to see how to find it. Now, I mean, if you can't see that, I don't know. You need to put some glasses on, check your phone ain't working. I don't know. But, you know, that looks like Groot to me. I don't know. It looks like Groot. That's Groot right there. That's Groot. Well, however they do that, I don't know. Maybe it's the girl, the ladies here say it looks like a woman. I mean, maybe it could be a woman that died. I don't know, but still, Raytheon and these companies, man, they're friggin' awful, man. I mean, Facebook, they just live on our data. Lame book, they're called. They don't want to share this stuff. They'll kick me out for having this on there. Putting this face on there and a sun halo. They don't want people to know. Well, let me tell you something. The sun halo stuff, it's not normal. I've only seen this stuff the last 4 or 5 years right here. I've never seen that ever. As a kid growing up, never. And, you know, our atmosphere, I mean, we're in a grand solar minimum, man. That's all. The sun's going through some cycle. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's how God set it up, whatever. But whatever. Now you can see Groot in there. See him in there, like he jumps right out at you, man. You got to look through these things like scientists, man. Like and subscribe to this channel because let me tell you something. Hearing about that voice-to-skull technology, man, it's just making me want to work ever more. And to see him out there spraying the straight liney clouds and look what's going on. That's aluminum and some other chemical called barium. There's been a study that there's 35% more aluminum in our soil. Aluminum sucks the nutrients out of the soil so our food don't grow right. That's why we're all fucking sick. Okay? We need to wake up. We really need to wake up. We have to wake up to this stuff, man. And we have to stop being deniers. So, you know, you got to look at things with an open mind. We're in spiritual World War III, man. It's all real. It's no fakes.